crash of shoulder pads and the crack of helmets echoed through the autumn air, a humble wooden outpost stood watch overlooking Bobcat Field in Celina, Texas. It wasn't tall, it wasn't grand, but this two-story press box, simple in frame, was monumental in meaning. It was a command center, a fortress of memory, a keeper of the Bobcat story.
Well, it's just been a part of our culture for so many years, the little press box, and we were only 10, 12 rows above the crowd, and you were right there with them, and just a few steps away. And it's what we really miss, quite frankly, at the new stadium, is we don't have that, but this was a special place, it really was.
High above the field, where the wind carried the weight of anticipation, two voices became the soul of Celina football. Donald Hamm, Pat Hunn. They didn't just announce plays, they narrated history.
Donald Hamm just said, hey Pat, would you want to call some JV games? Because he was moving up to varsity. And so used to, there was a pecking order. You had to do Thursdays, and then you got to move up to Fridays when that person retired. So Donald was doing both Thursday and Friday, and so he says, would you mind taking over Thursdays? I said, sure, I'll do it. And you know, most people don't know this, but as a little kid, I wanted to be a sports broadcaster. I wanted to be on TV and call sporting events. It was a privilege that he asked me. If you could ask him today, and bless his soul, he's been gone for a year now, but if you asked him or me, you would have never thought I would have been doing it 36 years later.
He and Pat were a good team, for one thing. When they started doing the radio broadcast together, and Pat doing the play-by-play, and Dad doing the color, and they worked like they'd been working together forever. And so I think my dad loved being able to pass it on to somebody who knew football well, who loved the Bobcats, and somebody who played on the field, somebody who lived it.
One of the first games we ever called, we didn't get our landline installed in time, so we had a flip phone that we passed back and forth, and that was how we called the entire 2.5, 3-hour game, was passing the phone back and forth.
In those early years when resources were scarce and budgets were tighter than a game in overtime, Celina did what Celina always does. It came together.
I'm in the front entrance right over there. That was made up at the welding shop downtown. Of course, when this field was grass, that took people that came out here and mowed it every Thursday or Friday, usually on Thursdays, and then Friday they would stripe the field. It takes a lot of people. You mentioned Scott Tingle. Every year we'd come up here and we would, before the first scrimmage, and we would go through the press box and there'd be lights hanging down because it wasn't necessarily leak proof. We would clean it up, fix it up, and try to get it back somewhat presentable. But it was volunteers, and they were taking that time out of their work, time away from their family, but everything was geared up toward the Friday night game. I think it really captures the heart of what Celina is all about.
Not for credit, not for pay, but for the love of the game and the place that called it home. From its windows, the press box bore witness to history. The state championships, the record-breaking win streak, and a night when the town flooded the stadium in celebration, and that little press box captured it all.
When that Bobcat light, I hope it comes back on and shines, and I hope that it's a beacon that really kind of draws people in, and I hope that they can look at it and go, wow, big things were born here at this little place.
Now, as part of Ousley Park, the press box is being relocated for restoration. Yes, its absence is felt, but its future is secure, because it will return.
I was joking that I wish they would have renovated it while we were using it. They're going to make it better than it was. But it is really cool that the current city government values the heritage and the history and the city of the football program like they do. How old would you have to be to come through Celina and not have me as the PA announcer? I mean, there will soon be kids of kids, playing for Celina, and I hope to be the one calling those games.
When the press box is returned to Ousley Park, it won't just speak of championships won or records set. It will stand as proof, etched in wood and memory, that Celina doesn't forget, that it honors its past while shaping its future. It's a window into identity. a reflection of resilience, and a soaring symbol of the unbreakable spirit that built Titletown.
It's definitely close to the heart to know that this place, and so many places in Celina, hold all of your childhood memories in this one little square mile, and in this case, these 100 yards.